On the top right hand side, we see Shu playing Valder as player 1 versus Stargen also playing Valder in the bottom left. So I am interested to see how this is going to play out. They are playing on Thieves Den. Map that we generally see the same thing happen in the first couple turns. Although there are some variances. You can send your commander horizontally. I know a couple players like to do that. Both of them are going for the side play. Probably going to see capture onto this village, line up for the sword crit. Very standard opening. Yeah, Stargen getting his commander into the right place. Thieves go for the capture. Sword goes for the capture on the village afterwards. So, how is this going to play it now? They're both just taking these villages. They're both very comfortable letting Valder have Groove. Ooh, Shu goes for the hit. He's going to take some damage on his commander just to build Groove a little bit faster. But in the case of Valder, that's generally worth doing. Gets this one turn early. Ooh, Valder's looking really low. Builds a dog, honestly, for safety if nothing else, because a sword could like come in and just hit Valder, and he'd be really low. Alright, just goes for the village capture, nice and safe. Sides against trying to put on a lot of early pressure. Finally, if the rifle had been built up there, you can like technically prevent that. You could just shoot it and then hit it with the sword. That would be a fun play, but it's not going to happen. So what we're seeing here, Stargen going for the knights this time. Game 1, lots of knights coming out from Shu. Stargen going for it. In this case, knights are very good against Valder. They threaten to kill him. Sometimes you don't even heal Valder early game, so he can be quite vulnerable. And Shu just building double knight, so both players gearing up for a very aggressive game. Swords aren't very good against knights, so you will see. Ooh, that's a nice mage heal. I like that a lot. Okay. In here. Yeah, it just goes for decaptures. Recaptures it? Okay. Not worried or not concerned about giving Valder extra groove. Ooh, gets a free hit on the thief. And this is really important actually, because thieves can survive hits in a lot of circumstances from things. Like a lot of things don't one-shot them, but a lot of things come really close. So damaging it is really important. Alright, what are we going to see here? Goes for the capture. Yeah, we're going to use the swords to bully the front. Take villages, and we're going to use knights to reinforce those. So good play coming out here from Shu. Ooh, Stargen able to find a knight crit though, and bam, one knight goes down. Lines up more units to defend. Knocks that down. Mage comes in to capture. Dog goes back for the heal. And this thief, I believe it healed? Let's have a look in a moment. Right, it did not. It just retreated. So this is very vulnerable to being killed by basically everything. It took 77%. I think a lot of units can one-shot it now. Alright, Valder finally heals up to full health on turn 8. But that's a very gold efficient thing to do, because if you're not healing your commander, then they're regenning every turn, and that's free gold. Alright, and their Shu is just putting on a lot of pressure. Fire Army's gonna come bearing down, and he, like, Sergeant has to respect this because night crits can start happening. He has to find a way to deal with these two knights. Alright, he's gonna come in. I think he can kill it with swords. Yeah, it's on a beach tile, so swords will do the trick. Runs that back. Ooh, yeah, and just uses this knight to wall. But there are targets for Valder to kill now, and he can build groove off of that. Whereas on this side, not so much. Ooh, and there's a vulnerable spot here as well. I don't know if she's gonna see it, but the knight could knock down the village. Oh, decides against it. Oh no, sorry, the harpy could knock the village down, the knight could crit the mage, leaving a harpy open to harass, but Stu decides against it. He's just going to bring more force to bear down on Stargen. Stargen, whose stronghold is getting completely overwhelmed. Just a mass of knights here. Ooh, but Stargen gets the decap. And that's not safe because a knight can come in and crit it, but it will force the knight to do that. Oh. Or Valder just runs back and crits it. Is also an option. So that was a slight misplay coming out there from Stargen. And Shu now just realizing, hey, I can just be really aggressive, just hit your stuff. That will work out. Ooh, that's a bit of a weird order for that, because Harpy first would have meant that knight was a lot more tanky, but that's still really scary. But I believe the dogs, yeah, the dogs can do that. Stargen can actually get a pretty big counter attack here. Ooh, more mage heal coming in. I think he's gonna try and kill one of these knights. Doesn't quite clear it, it's on 2%. Ooh, the other one lives on 1%. Oh. Scary stuff indeed. Ooh, but all they're vulnerable here. There is a harpy crit available. And a knight. Oh, and sword will finish. So Chu takes it very convincingly in game 2. It's just very aggressive in the bottom right. And able to get a lot of hits with Valder and get a lot of summons out. And just used swords really nicely as a wall with Valder until the knights were able to just come in and clean up. So really well played by Shu. And that is Stargen into the lower bracket now. So it is worth noting that even though getting into top 4 and winning the tournament is single elim, there is a lower bracket to make up to 5th. And there is prizes in 5th, so you know, like you can win for the sake of like wanting to, you know, prove yourself to be one of the best. Stargen will be going through to that